When you find yourself entangled with a narcissist, you may feel trapped in a never-ending cycle of deceit, emotional turmoil, and self-doubt. Narcissists, driven by control, require constant validation and attention to bolster their fragile egos. If you've been in a relationship with a narcissist, you've likely experienced a range of emotions, from the initial stage of love bombing to the final phase of gaslighting and emotional abuse that ensues once they've secured your supply. Nevertheless, one action you can perform will leave the narcissist stunned, full of sorrow, and sorely missing you. Despite all their confidence, arrogance, and drive to rule others, narcissists believe they are indispensable. They believe none else, least of all their spouses or close friends, could survive without them. They live by this concept and find solace in the knowledge that, regardless of their behavior, the people in their lives will always be there, always yearning for acceptance. Actually, narcissists depend considerably more on their victims than they would want to admit. Their entire identity revolves around the people they can control and influence. What action will make a narcissist quickly regret losing you? Cutting them off entirely and going no contact is the basic but very effective response. Going no contact with a narcissist is an act of regaining your power, not just ignoring their texts or avoiding their calls. Establishing a strong limit they cannot cross is a new experience for them. Narcissists depend on the belief that they can always re-enter your life, control your emotions, and reassert power whenever they deem appropriate. Shattering this illusion is going to have no impact. It becomes clear that you are no longer their emotional provider. The narcissist, used to having you at their beck and call, will have to confront an unprepared reality, that which they no longer control. The narcissist could first show an apathetic response. Ultimately, their importance outweighs any impact from your absence, leading them to convince themselves that your departure holds no significance. This is only a mask they wear, though, to shield themselves from the terrible knowledge that you were the source of their validation, without which they feel empty. That indifference will change with time into sorrow, and perhaps even panic. Control is what narcissists live for. Hence, losing someone who used to provide them attention and affirmation is a wound to their ego from which they cannot readily heal. They will miss the power they possessed over you, the continual comfort knowing they could send you back into their circle with a single text message or phone call. One of the reasons no contact is so successful is that narcissists are accustomed to being in charge in relationships. They create a dynamic that allows them to control when and how events occur. Cutting them off really flips the script. You are reshaping the narrative and asserting your refusal to allow them to dictate the boundaries of your relationship. Narcissists struggle to manage this because it challenges the fundamental basis of their inflated sense of self. They rely on the idea that they are always in control and that others will always be there to support their brittle egos. The narcissist will probably try to get in touch as they start to feel the sting of your absence. If you ignore their initial attempts, they might start with simple messages like, "I miss you," or "Can we talk?" before resorting to more aggressive tactics. This indicates that the narcissist is starting to feel panicked. They must take back control, re-enter your life, and rebuild the emotional support you formerly supplied. However, the reason going no contact works so well is that, done well, it prevents the narcissist from recovering this control. Refusing to participate forces them to face their own uncertainty and neediness, things they so sorely wish to avoid. In this emotional panic state, the narcissist will start to feel guilty about losing you. Not because they actually love you. Narcissists cannot be truly sympathetic or loving, but rather because they miss the part you helped to elevate their ego. They miss the authority they had over you. They felt superior in the connection. When you go no contact, you remove that from them, leaving them defenseless and exposed. By now, the narcissist could be using several deceitful strategies to lure you back. As if to offset the suffering they caused, They could try love bombing you all over again, showering you with compliments, attention, and devotion. They intentionally do this to entice you back into their orbit. They might also turn to guilt tripping, telling you they changed, are suffering without you, or have finally understood how much you mean to them. Narcissists, adept at playing the victim when it suits them, will use all the tools at their disposal to undermine your will. The narcissist will start a spiral, however, if you keep no contact and stick to your choice. Deep down, they will perpetually bear the remorse of losing someone who once provided them with the approval they so desperately seek. They'll search for someone else to fill the vacuum you left. They will mourn the control they had over you, even if they find a new victim, as they believe no one else can truly replace the role you played in their lives. Reclaiming your autonomy and shielding yourself from more mental damage comes first when you go no contact, not about getting even. Narcissists won't change. Seeking approval and control, they will keep moving from person to person, leaving a trail of emotional ruin in their wake. You're releasing that cycle by avoiding interaction. By choosing you over the toxic relationship, you force the narcissist to face their biggest fear: insignificance. The narcissist will ultimately regret losing you because they will come to see, for the first time, that they are not as indispensable as they thought. They will miss the emotional feed you gave, their influence over you, and their ability to willfully manipulate you. More importantly, though, they will have to face the truth that their need for approval and control has left them empty and alienated. Not only is going no contact a wonderful step towards your own recovery, but it's also the one that will cause the narcissist to really regret losing you. And even if they might never change, free from their poisonous influence, you will have acquired the fortitude and clarity needed to advance with your life.